What's up, guys? Your boy Joey B here, bringing you some good stuff about the Replicant banner that's going to be hitting everyone today slash tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world. I said I was going to do this, got distracted at the weekend through all that malarkey about getting my account back. I should have it back, hopefully tomorrow, for the hit of this banner. So basically, I've checked on a website. I'm going to link the website link in the description of this video if anyone wants to go look themselves and look through other information that's available from the JP server. But basically, this is the character skills, and I've got the weapons and that here as well. So we'll just go through these, and I ain't going to go off tier lists. In my opinion, is my opinion only. This is just from how I play the game. If I say something looks good, it doesn't mean it is good. It's just something I'll be interested in trying. You can make your own assumptions, but some people can't or don't know how to access this information, so they're just going off the wind. So I'm just going to go through the three characters that will be available in this banner and put my thoughts on them. So the first one we've got is Daddy Nier, the young man who destroyed the world. So you can see here his first character skill, whole body fire. Seems like it's a 4 times hitter, and when fully booked, it does, or fully skilled, it does 70% damage to an enemy alone. In addition, critical rate of all allies is increased by 20%. That's a really good character. Do you know how we done this video before? When I said about weapon skill order, this is good if you can get his gauge to fill up faster. Use his gauge first to boost the crit rate for like your A2s or your 2Ps to hit harder. Also means for the character skills, and you don't have to worry. So that brings down the sort of requirement 100% crit rate. You could drop it down that little bit more and bank on this guy if you really want to go for him. Get that extra 20% crit rate in. It does have your critical damage increased by 20%, which is good, and boost your attack power by 20%. So those two passives are really fucking good. I have heard from people that are saying that this is the best character on the banner. I kind of tend to agree with it, but I don't disagree that the other characters have no use. Last little bit of the image I've got here is base attacks, 5,360, so not too high. It doesn't change when you go up the light. So I think A2, just to give you a sort of gauge, A2 maximum stats, she sits at 6,000 attack. So just so you can kind of gauge how much lower it is from what we'd say is a big DPS unit. But his character skill's great, and his two passives are fantastic. Let's take a look at his weapon. So this is his weapon. He is a spear user, which is quite interesting because I don't see many great spear users at the moment. Like I'm liking the Celebrity Argo, and I think maybe this weapon could potentially be worth me going for. So it's 2 skills. You've got deal another 4 hitter, deal 85% damage to the enemy, a single target enemy, and increases your critical damage by 20%. I believe that's his personal crit damage. So let's see what his second skill is and see if it's maybe. So that's a 3 times hitter with a 50% damage to an enemy alone. In addition, increase his attack by 10%. So he's getting a lot of attack buffs. He's got the crit rate buff on his character skill. He's got a critical damage buff on a passive. He's got a critical damage buff on a weapon skill. And you can see the passives here. I'm guessing, so obviously this has been Japanese translated, but that to me looks like the crit rate passive. Increase your criticality. Yeah, I can imagine that's crit rate by 20%. So lots of crit rate buffs here from this guy's weapon, and another 10% attack power. So him and his weapon, you get a 30% attack. That's pretty strong if you ask me. Yeah, I'm quite liking the sound of this guy. Whether or not I'll pull for this stuff, I don't know, but maybe the weapon could be interesting. So we'll see what comes of that. Anyway, yeah, I definitely think this guy's going to be usable. If I had the gems handy, or if I was starting a new account, obviously the automata ban is gone. You don't have your chance for your 2Ps or A2s on bonus rates of that now. So I think this might be a good, if you're just starting out, character to push for and see if he can't be hitting some big numbers. Anyway, let's move on to the next character. So here we have Kane. Let's see. Right. I'll do it. Gauge rise. So character skill, 170% damage to an enemy alone 3 times. 40% increase in damage when HP is 80% or more. So That's similar to 2P's boosting light damage when it's 8%. I don't like 80%. At endgame dungeons, for you to keep 80% HP or more by the time you kind of get into the boss, for a lot of people that's challenging. So I don't really rate that as a skill. I'd much prefer like the Gale, where she has the 70%. 70% seems a bit more reasonable. 80% is a very big ask. Anyway, the passive, increased damage dealt by 70% or more, or of the encouragement HP by 30%. It doesn't make sense to me. That translation seems a bit iffy. If anyone knows what that is, down below, if you played in the GP server and you know how it works, just because the translation isn't great here in this passive skill, bang it in the comments below for people. Let's find out, because I don't want to tell you it is something and I'm totally wrong, because that, well, we're all human, we make mistakes, but I ain't doing it. And then you've got your defense boost by 20%. Nothing stands out to me there that I'd totally push for. Just seems like another sort of average character, a bit like what 2B is now. She just isn't effective as everybody else that's out there, so I wouldn't push. And you can see there, she's not an attack character. 3.3k. Yeah, some sort of support role. I don't like her kit, so not for me. Let's see if the weapon has something better to offer though. So here we go. Maximum effective weapon skills. Woohoo! So the old Conqueror. That's the name of the weapon, and its first skill: deal 110 damage to an enemy twice. So double hitter. 20% increase in damage dealt and HP is at least 80%. So that sounds like it's just been, 80% or higher again. So it's taking it off his character kit. Don't like it. Might be alright for pushing initial waves, but for me, nah, it's not really great. So deal 45% damage to an enemy fight. So 5 times hitter, good for combo build. And increase all ally criticality. So what are the Japanese translations? So I'm guessing crit rate by, all allies crit rate by 7% for 10 seconds. Not too strong, but if it's all you have, then yeah, you're getting a little crit rate buff from his weapon skill. Alright, and the passives: increased damage dealt by 15% when hit. See that? See, why is that in his passive for a weapon skill but not in his character? See, that's the good one. Increased damage dealt by 15% when HP is 70% or more. Give that and his weapon skill, like, seriously, 70%. It doesn't sound a lot, but it is. Especially endgame dungeons. Excuse me. And then increased critical rate by 10%. That's a good passive to have. It's a really, really, really good passive to have. So, yeah, his weapon doesn't seem too bad. I don't like the skills, but the passives alone, maybe for a sub-weapon that you aren't actually going to use if you need that crit rate boost, then might be something that you'd be happy pulling. Now, anyway, let's get on to that last character. This is my favourite. It's not because he's the best, it's because I think his character design is fantastic. Here we go. It's Emo, the branching eye droid. Fantastic. You see the little Emo dolls you got at the start of the automata that you use for bonus medals. We get character. This is fantastic. Let's see what he's got to offer. So, a massive nuke. Wow. So his character skill deals 520% damage to an enemy. Single enemy. Holy wow. I'm nearly choking in amazement. And damage increases with combo count. Right, I like that skill. I really like that character. That could do some nasty damage. But well, obviously, I think I'm going to have to try get this dude and test that for everybody. I like the sound of that. And his passives increase your attack power by 20%. Why he's got a defense boosting passive, I don't know. Like, he's built as a glass cannon, it seems, but yet he's got increased defense. Seems a bit odd. I think he'd maybe benefit more with like a 10% crit rate passive there, but hey, I don't build characters, I just abuse them. Yeah, love that character skill. That's definitely something I want to see in action. That looks really promising. I don't think there's anybody in game currently, even in the JP server, that has a bigger multiplier than that. That's nuts. Let's see if his weapon's just as impressive. So, his weapon: knowledge wand, skills and ability. Right. So a dazzling 4-shot attack and an experimental weapon. I like it. Deals 4. So it's a 4-hitter, 50% damage to an enemy, a single enemy. In addition, stuns 1 turn, or 20% chance to stun. That's always nice. I do like the few weapons that we have at the moment with the stun chance. I believe the free weapon we got out of the gacha summons for A2, that 2-handed weapon, that has this chance to stun if I'm thinking correctly. I like that as a little, just additional bonus. But if you can see, he's having a 4-hitter on his weapon skill, which is boosting the combo up. Then his character skill, the big nuke that boosts increased damage with. So I can see how they've built that. And then he's got a random... What? He's got a random heal in his kit. Restores all allies by 15%. See, why have they done that? If you build a glass cannon, make him a glass cannon. Don't give him a random defense passive on his character skill and then a heal buff. Like, I don't like that. I'm already going to say I don't like this weapon just because of that. I'd like to see something with another combo booster so that his character skill does a bigger hit. The passives on it, boosts his HP and increase agility. Nah, I don't like this weapon. I don't like it. It's not for me. Some people might see some use in it with the agility boost, but nah, if you're giving somebody a 520% damage attack, you need to be building him and his weapon light to synchronize into this big nuke. You can't just throw in defense buffs and HP buffs and a heal. It's like a jack of all trades, master of none. Anyway, yeah, that's the 3 characters and the 3 weapons we're going to see in this banner that comes out tomorrow or today, depending on what time zone you're in. Let me know down below what you're looking at. If you've got a different opinion on them, because everyone does. We use different characters. We play the game different, so let us know. Especially if you play in the GP server and you've used these characters, let the guys who are watching this, let them know what you think about them and how they actually perform, because it's one thing reading it out, but do they perform as good as it's written on the skills? We're yet to see. Anyway, that'll do for today. Hopefully tomorrow, back on the account, we can get some more actual content out, start playing through some of this stuff, because I'm having withdrawal symptoms from that account. I miss my big Gale, the 100k stats. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure and bang that sub button down the bottom. Give it a nice little thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. See ya.